so we got the air conditioning all squared away on this car. Basically, it's not working exactly perfect. My vent temps are only around the 50-degree range, but it's all good. I knew it wasn't going to be perfect, but it does get cool enough to, you know, be comfortable. So, but anyway, so moving on. We have a Nitrous Kit. I ended up picking this up on Facebook Marketplace for 300 bucks, brand new. It's like a $479 kit, and I found someone just wanting to get rid of it, so 300 bucks, can't beat it. It shoots up to 100 shot. Here's the part number. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it shoots up to 100 shot, so we probably won't be using all that right away. So yeah, let me flip the camera around, and I'll kind of go over on how I'm gonna install this. Okay, so basically I'm gonna install it, the fogger, somewhere in this area here, maybe at an angle. So if I put it this way, it'll probably hit my hood, so I'm gonna have to put it at an angle. I'm gonna try to delete this this actuator and this sensor here. This is just an extra throttle blade that I don't use. It's not used, so probably end up trying to delete that somehow. So yeah, so part of the reason with a single fogger like that I'm going to be putting on here, you really can't run too big of a shot. I know this from experience with a single nozzle, and the reason is because you have distribution problems. And I'll flip the camera around and kind of show what I'm talking about. You can see on these JZs and a lot of other cars too, the shape of the runners. You can see how if I'm injecting the nitrous here, there's going to be 900 psi flowing this way. Okay, well, you have a very sharp turn here, almost a U-turn, basically, going to the number one cylinder. So this cylinder is not going to get near as much as the rear cylinders, because this is all going to want to go to the back of the intake. So the distribution is not going to be even throughout the cylinders. So that's why you're kind of limited on shot size and all that. Now, if we did like an individual runner setup, like if I did like an individual runner setup, like a direct port system, they're much better. You can the distribution's more even. You can run more nitrous that way because everything's even. So, but it is what it is. For $300, adding 100 horse is pretty good. So, I mean, that should help us get out of the hole. That's basically the only reason I'm doing it, is because the 60 foot is so horrible on this. So I think that with 100 shot and a new converter, like a 4000 stall converter, should really help big time getting this thing out of the hole. So anyway, yeah, I'll just I'm not going to go too much into nitrous installation. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to try to mount the solenoid somewhere in this area here. I'll run the line over here. I'll tap into my fuel lines. They're down there. Tap into the fuel line. That kit there comes with all that. It comes with like a fuel tap. I don't believe on this fuel rail that there's a port to run the fuel off of. So I'm gonna have to like tap into the actual fuel line. I have to cut the line, which is no big deal. I mean, it's, So yeah, let me get this throttle body off of here, and then we'll go from there. The kit is pretty cool. It comes with, let me go look. The kit is pretty good. It comes with everything. It even comes with a tap. So you can thread the intake or the throttle body rather. It comes with all the lines. It comes with your jets. It comes with a a relay, 2 solenoids, a fuse holder, a couple brackets, you know, everything you would basically need in a 10-pound bottle. And oh, also I have, what I did was I went and picked up some one-step Kohler plugs. So these plugs here are NGK 8s. See that? Yeah, 8s. So these plugs here are going to be a colder plug than what I'd normally run, which is these. These are, I believe, these are 7s, and you can see the difference. This has a little bit of a projected tip, and this tip is kind of sunken in. So yeah, that'll be a colder plug, and that pretty much just helps with detonation. So when you run a colder plug. Okay, so let me get the throttle body off, and I'll go ahead and start running lines and stuff like that. I'm not going to videotape a lot of that. I'll probably come back when I get some of it kind of done. So, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got the nitrous line run. Basically I just ran it through this grommet here, which was before that was used for the speedo cable. So obviously I don't use that anymore because Fox bodies have a mechanical speedometer and the JZ is electronic, so I don't have a speedo. So got that run through there. Run through right here and just have it behind here running around, and it comes out over here, yeah, right there. And I'm just gonna keep the bottle behind the passenger seat, so it makes it easy for me to turn it on and off. You know, normally you would want to probably put that in the trunk so it'll give you a little more weight back there, but I don't think in this case it's going to be too big of a deal. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Okay, so I pulled off the intercooler piping, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about with that extra throttle blade. You can see in there there's an extra throttle blade that really doesn't do anything. It's right here. That's not the main throttle blade. The main throttle blade's up here. So yeah. Okay, so I got the nitrous solenoids mounted in a pretty cool little spot. Looks pretty good. I think this will work. It's basically there was a vacuum port here that wasn't used, and I just retapped it for a bolt. And this one here was already there. This little bolt hole was already there, and I just kind of bent the brackets to make these solenoids level. So this is the nitrous one's going to come basically in here, out of the firewall into there, and then the fuel will wrap around this side to the nitrous jet. So yeah, I like the way that looks right now. Okay guys, it's the next day. So I went ahead and took the throttle body off to make it easier to drill out the drill and tap for the fogger. So I'm gonna also try to see what I can do about this sensor here. This I don't know what you call it. It's like an extra throttle blade. I don't know what you'd call it. I guess it's for traction control. I'm gonna see if I can get that off of there. But anyway, now that I got the throttle body off, you can kind of see what I was talking about earlier about how the distribution is going to be terrible. But there's really nothing I can do about it. And I'll show you why right here. Let me flip the camera around. So now that I got the throttle body off, you can see that this runner here, this first runner, it goes down and around like a real sharp turn. Let me get this off of here. It goes around a really sharp turn. I mean, it makes like a U-turn right there. So I'm going to be injecting the nitrous this way. It's going to go right past that. I mean, the number one cylinder is probably going to be just totally left out. But like I said, there's really nothing I can do about that unless we go direct port, which I'm not going to do. So let me go ahead and see if I can work on this throttle body a little bit, and then I'll come back and see what I come up with. Okay, so I got the throttle body off. I got all this stuff off for that traction control throttle blade. Pulled the throttle blade out. So yeah, so basically what I did was this kit came with a little brass, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a brass fitting that you can use to drill a bigger hole and then mount that, and that's kind of hard to explain. But instead of tapping it, you drill a big hole without using the tap, and you put this nut and washer. You put this brass piece with a nut on it, and then your solenoid, then your fogger will screw into that. But what I did is I put it on my lathe, and my little mini lathe over there, and I turned it down to the point where this is going to press into this hole here. So then I'll have threads that will just thread the fogger right in. So that should work out pretty good. And then on the other side, I'm going to have to just make a little brass plug, because there's a hole on the other side too. So I'll just have to make a brass plug to press in there, and then it'll be sealed on both ends. So that should work out good. Okay, so I got the little brass plug pressed in there, and I use a little bit of RTV on it too. So as you can see, this is just gonna thread right in now, and you know, you just I'm gonna put some Teflon tape on that, and then just thread it down, and it's gonna, see, it'll stick out in there, and that extra throttle blade is gone. So now all I got to do is make a brass plug to plug that. Yeah, I just got to make a little plug to plug that, and that's it. We're done. We're ready to put it back on. Okay, so we're all set. I made another plug for here, so now the throttle body is completely, it's a completely sealed off. So now all we got to do is screw the fogger in. Use probably some Teflon tape on that, and put the throttle body back on. Okay, so there you have it. I got the nozzle in there. It doesn't stick into the throttle body as far as I'd like. I wish it was a little further in there, but I think it'll be fine. You can see how that came out. But yeah, I mean, so it's kind of a couple benefits there. I took about 2 pounds of solenoid off that thing. This solenoid that's on here, or this actuator, I don't know, this thing, it weighs about 1 pound, and then the throttle blade, throttle shaft, all that, so maybe a couple pounds I took off the throttle body, so that's a bonus. But all right, let's get it back on there. All right, so throttle body's back on. Everything's hooked up. All we got to do now is hook up the fittings that go to the solenoids, and then run that to our fogger. I got to cut into the fuel line to hook up the fuel solenoid. So a few more things we got to do before we can try it out. So let me get to it. Okay, so we got the lines hooked up. Looks pretty good. And what's nice is it's really easily accessible here. If I want to ever like rejet it or mess with the tune or whatever, it's super easy to get to. So far so good. I'm happy the way it's coming out. Okay, so everything is hooked up. fuel line, the nitrous line, it purged the fuel line, and there's no leaks, so we should be good to go. Hopefully it's not too dark, but all we got to do now is wire it up. So the fuel line goes down to that T right there. You can see that. Yeah, so I just basically teed off of the stock line. It's like a 3/8 inch line or something like that. Obviously it's not ideal, you know, you'd probably be better off with like a Schrader valve hookup type of deal, but this doesn't have that, so I'm just tapping right off that line. So I guess the next thing I'm going to do is just wire it up, and we can test it out. So let's do that. Okay, so we got it all wired up. Got the wires tucked in the dash. I'm running just a handheld switch. Part of the reason I'm doing that is I don't really want it on a wide open throttle switch. I'd rather control it myself. I mean, I don't recommend doing that because you can make a mistake and hold the button down and let the gas off, and that's not good because you can cause a backfire and blow intercooler piping and have all kinds of problems. But I've done this before, and I'm pretty confident that I won't do that. So yeah, so it's just basically a little handheld switch. I have it on there. I know that that's the micro switch that you would use like on the throttle body, but I'm just using it as a handheld switch. They want, like, for a handheld switch with a coil on it, they want like $50, and I'm just going to use the one that came with the kit. So yeah, so everything's ready to go, and of course on cue, when it's ready to test out, it starts raining. So hopefully in a few minutes here it'll stop raining and we can go out and try it out, see what it's like. I have the boost turned to around 15 pounds right now, and I may turn that down to like 12 or 13 for the first try on the nitrous, just so we're not hitting boost cut or nothing like that. I mean, the wastegate should take care of that. It should keep it at 15 pounds, but the nitrous may make it spike and go into boost cut, so we'll see. I'll do that, and then I'll wait and see if the rain lets up, and then we'll go try it out. Yeah, so another reason I like to have the button handheld is because then you can motor purge. Like, 'cause I don't have a purge, you know, so to speak. It's what you do is you just bring the car up to maybe 2,000-3,000 RPMs, and you just stab it a couple times, and it'll purge it out. And you'll hear the motor change, you know, frequency, or it'll change sound. You'll hear the difference when the nitrous is mixing well with the fuel. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to just hit the nitrous without doing that, because you'll you know, you're gonna get nitrous first. So usually. Okay, so I switched to my iPhone because I can't hold my selfie stick and hold this button and drive and all that. So I went ahead and purged it out a little bit. Just holding it like 2,500 RPMs. So that's pretty good. Let me just give it a try. Tires off. Like, as soon as I touched the button, it just blew the tires off. So that was pretty good. I got it set right now for a 75 shot according to the kit, but who knows what that really means. So let me try it just rolling into it. I could just floor it and it would never blow the tires off, but now the tires just blew off instantly. So our 60 foot's gonna be much better. So I don't want to do it too much because what I want to do is I haven't changed the plugs yet. I want to go home and check the plugs, make sure there's no detonation, nothing like that, because you don't want that. It feels good. I still am not looking at the AFRs though. I need to do that to tell me if I got the right jetting in there. Okay, so let me try to fix this a little bit. Alright, so I'm watching the AFRs, and normally I'm running around, like at 15 pounds of boost, it runs around 11.5 on the AFRs. And when I'm hitting the nitrous, it's going down to 10.5. So it's actually getting rich. So I could actually pull drop the fuel jet down a little bit because it's running rich. And what's funny is I've already done that. Like, just from my experience, these kits, they set them up rich, and I already dropped it too before I even tried it. So, and it's still rich. So I'll probably have to go down another two numbers on that. And I don't even know. I'll have to look at the kit to see if there's if that's available, because I only got like 6 jets. So it is what it is. I'll just order some jets to fine tune it the way I need it, you know. But man, it feels really good. I'm impressed. Yeah, so that's probably gonna do it for this video. This is a total success. So I'm gonna go home and probably for another video, I'm gonna check the plugs, check for any detonation. When you're looking for detonation, what you're gonna look for is like speckling, black speckling on the white part of the porcelain of your spark plug. So if you look under like a microscope or a little eye loop or anything like that, like a jeweler's loop, and you see any black speckling, that's detonation. So we're gonna look at that. I'm gonna change the plugs, put the colder plugs in there that I bought, and we'll go from there. But I hope you guys like this video. I'm excited to get to the track and see what it does, you know, the 60 foot and 8th mile and all that. And I think it's gonna be a lot better. I think the 60 foot's gonna be better. I think everything's gonna be better. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. Hope you learned something. Like, share, and subscribe. Here's a few more videos, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.